All right, my friends, welcome to episode 89 of Prof and Dev Play Games. I am the Professor Larry, and over there is Anthony, the Dev. How is your E3 weekend going?
Full of party for kids, but I'm keeping up with the news.
That's kind of like what E3 is, a big party for big kids.
Kind of, it seems, based on my Twitter feed for developers I follow that are there. They get to go to live concerts and do all sorts of random crazy things, drink and have ice cream. You know, the usual stuff that adults do.
Yeah, drinking and ice cream. That sounds like a pretty good Sunday.
It does.
Ooh, that was kind of a pun, too. That sounds like a good root beer Sunday. No. Stone IPA Sunday. Anyway, I'll let that one go. I love E3. This has been pretty fun E3 so far. So for the audience who's listening, if you're new, every Sunday we record an episode about the news, have a discussion, talk about games we're playing, and we post it Sunday night or Monday morning. This week's a little different. We're doing our regular episode right now, but it's all about E3. We're going to talk about 3 E3 press conferences that we've seen so far, which was EA, Microsoft, and Bethesda. We'll record another episode tomorrow night that has, I guess, the PC gaming show, maybe?
It's a PC gaming and Ubisoft and Sony.
Exactly, and we'll put that up Monday night. And then Tuesday we'll do one more that's focused on Nintendo and kind of a wrap-up for all of E3. So you're going to get quite a few episodes from this week. Usually we do it once a week, Sunday night, Monday morning. If this is your first time, welcome. I'm the Professor. I am at Prof Plays Games, and he is the Dev. He is at Summer Speak, and please spell that correctly, S-P-E-A-K.
I think we've both misspelled it a couple times.
We have, for sure.
Yeah.
So let's start with Saturday's press conference. It was the first one of E3. It was EA's, and it was a long one, about an hour and a half.
It was long and it felt long.
Yes, it sure did.
God, was that... Oh, the presentation was not strong in those on-stage presence.
No.
Oh my God, it was painful sometimes.
I hate to call people out like in a negative way, but the guy who was the YouTube creator who was doing the introduction for Need for Speed...
Right.
That was so rough.
There's a lot of rough. Stilted, very stilted. After... seeing Microsoft today and a little bit of Bethesda, they at least had their stage presence stepped up a bit, or with Bethesda, just no stage presence. We're not even going to do stage stuff.
Yeah,
it's
but
cool.
Bethesda went the direction of Nintendo. We're going to do a digital direct, and at least they bookended it with Pete Hines. That was about it. I thought it was the best one of the conference so far, the Bethesda
I would
one.
agree.
Yeah, it was.
I would agree.
Really well done, good games. But in terms of EA, you want to give us a quick rundown of everything that we saw, and then we'll kind of go in depth?
Okay, so where to start? Let's get out the normal ones. They showed their sports stuff. So we got a new Madden trailer, which they're doing a story mode in Madden. Okay. They did a FIFA 18 that has co-op. Could be fun. More NBA Live. So those 3 out of the game. How much time do you think that long thing did they dedicate to sports games?
I felt like it was about 15 minutes.
Do you think anyone there actually cares about sports games?
No, but the shareholders do. I mean,
the shareholders do, but the people know that these are coming.
Exactly. I was curious. I mean, I wasn't curious at all about the sports games, but it was interesting when they went with Madden. The story mode was interesting to me because, FIFA, for example, I played a couple of FIFAs, and they put that story mode in last time. And I played it on the Xbox, and it was actually pretty interesting to have a single-player mode story. So then throwing it into Madden is interesting. I'm not sure how interesting, but it's something new that surprised me. But other than that, I was kind of doing other things while the sports stuff was going on.
Yeah. And then we got into some Need for Speed, which was, I don't know. Again, it's another one of their properties where it has a history, but I don't feel a strong love for the series. I see it, the heist mode, it's a cool kind of, Fast and the Furious style game. It's close as you're going to get to that type of and that's what they're going for.
Well, I was trying to figure out how are they going to differentiate themselves from Forza and from, what's the Sony one? Gran Turismo. Yeah, exactly. And I feel like they did it with this story mode where it's, or even the crew as well. This heist mode, this Fast and Furious thing that I thought it looked really cool. Racing games are always used to show off, the new hardware and how things look. But I get kind of bored of racing games unless there is a story, and there's not usually. So it's kind of interesting to see a story here. I don't know if that's enough to sell me on the product, but it was them doing a pretty good job of differentiating themselves from the other games.
Yeah, they've definitely pushed, like, Need for Speed's always been pushed to more of the arcadey style of racing, and it never tries, at least I don't remember it ever trying to truly compete with those simulation racers, Forza and Gran Turismo.
Right.
So, I mean, they're running with that. Is it the most exciting thing? Probably not. Like, this isn't getting people probably pumped about, hey, look at EA is doing a Need for Speed. Like, it looks decent. It'll probably sell decently, but it's not a game changer. Nothing that's like, yes, this is EA bring it, doing something big and new.
Right. And then there was some Battlefield news as well.
Yeah, they were doing some night maps and a Russian front expansion.
Right.
Which I haven't played enough Battlefield 1 or any Battlefield 1 to actually, like, is this cool? It looks, from what I can tell, Battlefield 1 finally did it where it did better than Call of Duty. So
yeah, and it's
this past year.
The way that DLC is timed, it's basically comes out 8 months later than their first DLC and right in the new COD.
Yep.
Like, they're managing to give Battlefield 1 enough legs to compete with Call of Duty in 2 different years.
Yeah, which is good, because, I mean, they're doing this, and then, weirdly, they're big. We'll get to it, but Battlefront 2 is timed very much to be their shooter for this fall.
Right.
Then, yeah, let's do Battlefield. Yeah, we can go into Battlefront 2, because the other stuff is, there's 2 other things, but they're new.
Yeah, I want to talk about one of those, but let's get the elephant in the room out.
So Battlefront 2 came in, they showed new trailers, new multiplayer. We're going like, here, it has a story. They brought out the actress for
Janina Gavankar.
Yeah, Janina Gavankar for her whatever character she plays in the game, the main character.
Right.
The game looks gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous for Star Wars. I will probably pick this game up. I'm kind of sold. I'm like, yeah, give me a Star Wars story. It's okay. Like, I didn't know how I'd feel about the Empire side of things, but I read a book a couple months ago that was all about the 2 like teens that grew up under the Empire, went to the Empire, and it was fantastic. I was like, okay, I can see this perspective. I'm interested in stories from this perspective, and I'm interested to see what her character's arc would be.
And you don't imagine yourself doing much multiplayer in this?
If I have it, I'll probably play some multiplayer, but it's not going to be a drive for it. It's really, I want to play single player.
Yeah.
The vehicle stuff looks nice. I saw somewhere that they completely revamped all the vehicle stuff to try to make it a little bit more Need for Speed style. Mm-hmm. Like, just feel a lot faster.
Well, I feel like that, I believe that team that works on Need for Speed also worked on this one, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, right.
So I think it's just all around, this feels like Battlefront. The first Battlefront was just a stepping stone to this, which is the much more complete package.
Yeah, that's what it feels like to me too, with how content rich it is, and even the multiplayer. Like, from the reveal, it looks like the multiplayer is more like a hero shooter than, I mean, Battlefield was just, you had heroes, of course, but mainly the main character. All the characters were kind of very similar. The difference was really the weapons you chose. So here there's like a commander and different droids, and it just seems like a hero shooter to me. It looks really interesting. I wish we'd have saw more of the single player. We saw mainly focus on
multiplayer. Yeah.
But it looked interesting. It looked way more interesting than the first one, and the areas that you fight in look just better. Yep. Everything was better.
And this game's gonna sell insanely well. It's coming out with another Star Wars movie, right? Coming out, like, they're set to win on that, I think.
Well, it was cool, I thought, and other people were upset that they only focused on this one and not the other Star Wars games. I just felt like it was a clean marketing message. Like, this is our game for this year.
It's not time. Those other ones are later. Yeah. So you can bet that the other one under develop, especially the big more RPG-ish one where everyone's assuming is RPG-ish, that they showed the teaser for last year.
Right.
I mean, that's not going to be out. They'll probably talk about that in 2018.
Right.
And
it's going to
for like a fall 2018 release at earliest.
Right.
Which is fine. It's great. I think this is actually don't oversell what you have. Like, focus this year is Battlefront. There's no other reason. There's nothing else to really need to talk about anything else.
Absolutely. Just to, I don't know, whet our appetites, but I appreciate that they focus on things that we're going to see this year, and it seems like a theme from all the conferences so far, which I appreciate.
Yeah.
And it looks badass. Like, I don't need to see other Star Wars stuff.
Yeah. So there's 2 new things. Which one do you want to go with first?
Let's go with the quick one first, and then we'll end on the really weird one. So BioWare is one you're talking about, right?
Yeah, it's the quick one.
Yeah.
Because there wasn't much to say during EA's presentation, because they're like, come back for Microsoft's. Well, you'll see a full trailer.
Yeah, so it's Anthem from BioWare.
Yeah, Anthem. So the trailer I watched Saturday night, and I got done with it, I'm like, so BioWare is either making a story Titanfall or Destiny?
Right, that's exactly what I thought too.
That's what it looked like. I was like, what the hell is this?
I was so underwhelmed. I thought, this is not interesting to me at all. And wow, I was wrong.
Will say it is BioWare Edmonton, so this is the main team who did the Mass Effect trilogy and Dragon Age.
Right, and I understand that they have
the core team.
They have Austin is pitching in on this one as well.
I'm sure it looks too big for that one studio to handle, and I know that studio is doing something Dragon Age still as well. So yes, they probably have. It's EA. There's a lot of teams probably helping out on this. This is a theme for AAA development now. There's like one head studio and then a bunch of other studios helping out.
This game kind of looks to me, and we'll get to it later, but like what people were hoping from Mass Effect Andromeda, not in terms of story or anything like that, but just like in terms of like weight, like just excitement about the game. Like this. Yeah. This is where the A team was working.
Yep, definitely.
Yeah. So we'll talk more about that one in the Microsoft conference. But the last one that you've been alluding to is this game called A Way Out, which is basically the EA originals that I think Unravel came out under.
Yep.
And this is done by the studio that did Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons. And when they said that, I kind of thought about the graphic fidelity of that game or how it looked. But then they did this reveal of this game, and it was so different. So what did you think about it?
I was completely not prepared for something like this.
Yeah.
But I am so up for trying this.
I want to play this with you so bad.
I mean, it just seems really neat. Like, it's such a simple premise. Get out, break out of jail. Go.
Well, and it's like he's...
And now figure it out.
Yeah, and he's saying this is co-op. You cannot play this without being co-op, either face-to-face on your couch or online, and it's split screen. So the two characters are doing different things, and you can watch both. It's really a really cool concept.
Yeah, it doesn't shock me this came out of the team that made Brothers.
Yeah.
It seems like kind of a natural progression from that thought process of how you controlled Brothers and what you were doing there.
At least you both don't have to use the same controller.
Exactly. So, yeah, this was an unexpected one, and I think out of EA's thing, this was probably one of the really nice surprise.
Well, and it got the most. I felt like it got the most buzz.
Yeah.
I saw so many tweets, and on Reddit, like the most upvoted thread from the conference was this one. It wasn't Battlefront. It wasn't Need for Speed. It was this one.
Yep. I think people do respond to a good-looking, creative game that tries to do something new.
Right.
So go EA for finding a small team that wanted to take a bigger chance.
If you were to estimate how long this game would last, how many hours would you?
I don't know. I have a feeling like the thing is I wonder if it's replayable to try different ways or if there's different setups. But I would think that if it's a co-op experience, you're expected to play through in one sitting.
Right.
At least no more than 2 hours.
Yeah, that's what I think. Between 2 and 3 movie length, I think.
Yeah.
It's got multiple endings, so I think there's some replayability.
Yeah, and I have a feeling there's probably a lot of different ways you can go about of getting out.
Right.
So at least that was my thought. Like looking at it, I'm like, oh, there's probably a lot of variation depending on which way you want to go.
Okay.
Like which way you want to, you hide in here this time and I'll do this other thing. Like from a development standpoint, it makes me kind of my mind boggle about how many threads they're going to have to keep track of and make this work.
God, it looks good. I can't wait.
Yeah.
Did they say a release date at all, or is it just in the future?
In the future, I'm hoping this year.
Yeah, me too.
But if not, then spring next year probably.
Right. Yeah, it looks good. So that was EA's conference. If you were to pick one game from the whole conference that you're, I don't know, either definitely purchasing or really looking forward to, what would you choose?
it's a way out.
Okay.
That's the one that stood out the most to me, which I will be picking up Battlefront 2 as well. Anthem, at this point when I watched it, was like, what the hell was that?
Yeah, no, I agree. It was very odd. And the buzz on it after this conference was like, this is just Destiny, Titanfall, this looks terrible, blah, blah, blah. But, yeah. Then we saw the then we saw the Xbox conference this morning, and that changed. They finished the conference with Anthem, so we'll talk about it at the end. But they started off with the Xbox X, the XOX, the hug.
No. As I was telling my wife this, and she's like, so I'm like, it's the Xbox One X. And she's like, oh, so XBOX, Xbox? I'm like, oh, shit, they really did that. Oh, god damn it, Microsoft.
They kind of did like a Wii naming with this thing, like a Wii,
it's
Wii U.
It's the dumbest thing ever.
XOX? Hug,
XOX.
Kiss, hug. I don't know.
I was like, God, it abbreviates to Xbox. Holy shit. And then I posted in our Slack thing. There was the highest rated Reddit thing today I saw afterwards was a gamer tag. I'll see if I drag it in for you, but it's like Xbox One XX.
Oh no!
Like
the small X, big X.
Yeah. It's like, God.
Yeah, they like those X's. I saw a poll right before the conference where someone was saying, like, what do you think the Xbox is going to be called? And it had like a bunch of different names, and one was Xbox X, and I was like, that's probably what it's going to be. And I was crazy. It ended up being that. So when it started the conference off with this console, I was really excited. Like, this looks really good. Got to see the games that they're going to show on it. And we're going to go through all the games, obviously. But my overall impression throughout the whole conference was you have this most powerful console on the planet ever created, yada, yada. Give out all these shirts that say that thing. And then you show a bunch of pixel art, kind of cartoony games to play on the most powerful console. What the hell is happening here? There's a real big disconnect here, I thought.
Because you don't need it?
Yeah, right. By the time I got to the end, I was like, I don't need this thing at all, because everything that popped up that I was really interested in, and there were some good games, I circled on my notes. They're all available on Windows 10, and I just upgraded, or I'm about to upgrade to a 980 Ti, which is, pretty good graphics card. So I think I'll be able to play these games just fine on my PC.
No, you will. That's one thing they have there, and then you don't have to spend $500.
Well, I also don't see many of these games why they couldn't be played on the Xbox One S. A lot of these cartoony pixel art, they look good, but I don't see why they couldn't be played on the S just as fine.
No, it will play a bunch of those just fine. You won't get Forza 7 at 4K.
Yeah, absolutely not. That's right. Or, Shadow of War at 60 frames per second.
Yeah.
But I kept saying to myself, like, why would you need an Xbox One X? And that's,
I'm not...
Sucks.
Yeah, it's not what... I haven't seen... kind of looking when I got home tonight, like watching part of the conference and then just looking at like comments and different places online. No one seems too thrilled with this console. Like there's a small enthusiast part that's just like wants the most powerful thing.
Yeah, of course.
But then you have a large portion that are like, oh, I have a PC that can do all this. Why do I care?
Well,
and then most other people are like, I'm not going to pay $500 for this.
Yeah, the thing that, like, the only people that I keep thinking this is for, it's the people who want, like, 4K gaming. They want the really advanced graphic gaming who don't do who want, you can, to build a PC with comparable specs is, I assume, more than $500.
Yeah.
Because you got the OS, you got the case, you've got all the components.
Yep.
I feel like it's more. So this is a good value for that person who doesn't have a computer and wants everything in one box. I have a pretty good gaming computer. I have a PS4 Pro. All the games that I want, I can either play on my Windows 10 machine or I can play on my PS4 Pro.
Yeah. And I will say that audience will not sustain a console.
No.
Overall, they're not big enough to actually make a console profitable. And historically, any console that's launched at 500 or more has done poorly.
Yeah.
Overall, there hasn't been a success story out of that. They only start selling whenever you get sub $400, and then really 300 is the really big sweet spot.
Yeah, it's disappointing because I thought that from listening to Phil Spencer, I really thought they would have something big that would sell this. And your prediction, if you go back to our prediction episode, and we'll go through some of our predictions, one of them was there will be no new AAA games for Microsoft. And you were 100% correct.
Which is dumb. This whole thing was dumb for trying to launch a new console.
There was nothing that would sell a new console in that show. There were great games that I can play on other systems or on PC. And I'm wondering, maybe Microsoft doesn't care. Like, they want the Xbox brand, so your Xbox is basically your PC. Play Xbox games there.
It's possible. I don't know. It definitely didn't. It didn't really move me in a way on the Scorpio or now Xbox One X. It's cleaner looking, but you now have to compare. So how much does an Xbox One S cost?
$250, and I think they're dropping.
Because it's $50. Is it $250 all the time?
I thought it. Well, Costco it's like $270, so I think it's $300 normally.
Okay.
So it's $250.
$250. PS4 Slim right now is $250. They're doing that price drop right now.
Right.
Temporary, supposedly, but
we know how that goes.
Yeah.
They usually last.
And then we have a PS4 Pro at $400 and Scorpio at $500.
Yep.
Man, they should have launched at $400.
I really think they should have. I agree. I wonder if Microsoft is not really behind the Xbox at this point. Like, they can't sell at a loss. I mean, Microsoft has a ton of money. I feel like they could have sold at a loss.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know where they're at.
You know?
It's just definitely, you really have to push someone like, okay, why would I spend twice as much for this between this and an Xbox One S? And then why would I spend $100 more for this than a PS4 Pro?
Right.
Like, what's the reason there if I want a console?
Well, the reason, my friend, is games.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Exactly. That typically is why someone buys a console, is because there's games they want to play on said console, and they can only play on said console.
Right.
Microsoft did not bring that.
No. Well, and you've got Sea of Thieves, Cuphead, the new Ori and the Will of the Wisp.
Yep.
These games that would typically be like console exclusives, all of those are Win 10 as well. So if you as a gamer, I would like to play those games. So maybe that might convince me to get a Xbox One X, but not now because I can play on my PC. So there's no point. So they've cut those customers out of the whole equation.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
I don't either. They're doing themselves no favors. I don't see this closing the gap between PS4 and Xbox right now.
Mm-mm.
That's just where it is. I still feel like they're just floundering from when they launched this thing. That they just didn't know what they're going with. They don't know what they're doing. Like, I don't see a clear vision for what their console division is anymore.
Yeah, I feel like the clear vision is we're going to stop making machines eventually and just put our stuff on the machine everyone has, which is the PC.
Yeah.
Building up the Windows Store. It just feels disappointing to me because competition drives,
it does,
the other company to do something better. And so Microsoft should feel the heat from Sony and should be doing something better. And
what the lesson they took to do better was to make a more powerful console.
That wasn't the reason why the PS4 outsold the Xbox One. If that's
Not
the
at
message
all.
they took, then they need new management.
Yep.
I mean,
I think that they're learning the wrong lessons here.
Absolutely. And, to hear, Phil Spencer's been in charge for a while now and really, put a lot of stock into him to turn the ship around. But this is all him. This is all his decision. Obviously not alone, but this is his vision. And I don't know that it's going to help. I could be wrong. I'd love to be wrong, but.
Yeah.
In terms of games that we saw, let's kind of run through what they talked about. Talked about Forza 7.
Looks pretty. It's a racing game.
Yep, basically.
It competes with Gran Turismo.
There you go.
Like, it and Gran Turismo look incredible. They always do.
Absolutely.
So that's always what my thought is. Like, if you have an Xbox or you have a Sony console, you always have a good looking racing game.
Yep.
And they're both really good.
Yeah, and I love the variety of the tracks. I thought that it wasn't just a spin around in circles kind of thing. It betrays my ignorance of racing games pretty much. I thought it was pristine, but definitely the thing that sells the power of the.
Yeah.
They had Metro. I think they started off the conference with Metro, right? Or is it the second one?
No, Forza.
Okay.
Then it went to Metro.
Okay. I mean, I haven't played the Metro ones. I do have a couple of the games on the PS4, I think, that were on set. I got them for free or whatever. I don't know what. But this looked good.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't played them, but they're really well received FPS games. Horror-ish kind of things.
Did you say horror-ish?
Horror-ish.
Oh.
Horror-ish, yes, horror-ish.
Wait, what game?
That's exactly what you're doing in first person in these games.
I think we saw different games, man.
That's a Duke Nukem sequel.
Oh, jeez. But I like the sequence where he's fighting the whatever that thing is, and he jumps onto the zip line and sails across. It was inventive. It looked good.
It should run well. Like, the games themselves have been solid FPS games.
Yeah.
They have a pretty strong. I mean, they were on Steam. That's where I originally saw them. I actually might own them on Steam. I don't know.
I had them on Xbox. I'm not sure if I still do have them on PS4.
But it's a good one to have. I assume this will also be on PC though. So.
Oh yeah. And before we get into the rest of the games, the way that they announce games was like Xbox exclusive or console launch exclusive. And turns out the ones that said console launch exclusive basically meant that they'll come to other things later.
Yep.
It's a timed exclusive. The thing that's confusing for me is Battlegrounds or PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, which we'll talk about later. Said it was a console launch exclusive, but then later in the trailer it said only on Xbox. So is it? I couldn't.
It can't be only on Xbox already because it's on PC.
Right.
So
that was confusing.
I don't know. It's confusing message. They'll probably have to clarify that.
It's like a Tomb Raider thing all over again.
Yeah, I have a feeling it's not. It's like Ark was.
Mm-hmm.
Almost certainly it's the same type of deal that Ark was, which is no, it's timed exclusive on Xbox. It's always going to be on PC.
Yeah.
And timed exclusive on Xbox, and then it will probably come to PS4 after that. PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds is Unreal 4, so it can go to all the consoles, and it will not be an issue.
Well, and it makes sense that right now it's in early access, so game preview, and that does not exist on PS4, but it does exist on Xbox One, so it kind of makes sense. Which, just for the audience, this was a prediction from Anthony. He said console exclusive for Battlegrounds, and
that was honestly, like, it seemed like something they might do, but it was a long shot. Like, I wasn't expecting this to happen, a deal like that to happen as quickly.
Yeah.
But they probably went right to those guys when it's been topping Steam, going like, we'll give you money, bring it here.
Yeah, smart move.
But the next thing after Metro was the first footage of Assassin's Creed Origins.
Yay. I was excited.
I'll play it. I've come to the conclusion I like the Assassin's Creeds when they're back in ancient history.
Mm-hmm.
I like Black Flag and Syndicate looks interesting, but really when they're back in like more ancient times, antiquities type thing, I don't know. There's something more to that where it just feels more adventurous.
Mm-hmm.
And can be kind of more fantastical, I guess.
Yeah. Well,
which I'm cool with.
This gameplay certainly was fantastical, where he could, I don't know, communicate with the eagle. The eagle would fly around, and that's basically the eagle. What's it called in Assassin's Creed? Like the eagle sight, or
the eagle sight.
Whatever, you can like see through walls and see.
Yeah.
So it makes it a little more grounded in reality, even though you're communing with a bird. But
yeah.
It looked good. I loved that they said beforehand that you can climb basically everything in this game, which a lot of people were saying after Zelda, like, what's Assassin's Creed going to do? But apparently you can climb almost anything in this game.
And that will be good. I'm glad that they were already on that from what Zelda was doing.
Yeah.
And started from the ground up being like, no, we got to make it so that people can just climb.
Right.
No mini-map.
Yeah. Just has that compass on top like Skyrim or Horizon.
Yeah. They're taking some lessons.
Yeah.
I am excited to play this, but it won't be on Xbox.
Yeah, well, you're not going to play on the Xbox, what you're saying, right?
No.
Yeah.
I love this one. I'm like, why is this in here? I mean, I get that it's in here because they're going to do a co-marketing deal with this.
Yeah.
But still, I was like, okay, this is not something that I would care about with your new console. Like,
I can't imagine.
I don't need to see something that I can play everywhere.
The fact that there wasn't like a exclusive outfit, something for Xbox makes me think we're going to see this on the PS4 stage with some sort of special stuff for PlayStation.
That's possible. I mean, Ubisoft has the last few Assassin's Creeds had special stuff with Sony.
Exactly. So I think we're going to see it there too, because we didn't see anything special for Xbox.
Yeah.
What do you think of the combat at the end there? Did you get a chance to see that at all?
I did see it some. I don't know. I'm still skeptical of Assassin's Creed combat.
Yeah.
Like, after how many games, it's still probably one of the weakest parts of the entire game.
It just looked like it had a lot more dodging and rolling and almost like a Dark Souls-y kind of thing. And
it could be cool. I actually think that the combat, if they were really going to do the combat, I've always felt this way, is they really just need to turn into the Arkham Asylum style combat.
Right.
Like they kind of try to do it a little bit, but kind of pull themselves back. Like Assassin's Creed Brotherhood had a very more rhythm-based combat, but if they could but they didn't really just fully dedicate themselves to it. I just kind of feel like these games would be better if it was just had that slight rhythm, just that rhythm to the combat. But they want to go Dark Souls style.
Yeah, that's what it looked like. But it looked gorgeous. I know that it'll look different on PS4 Pro or PS4 or whatever, but I think it's great.
I'm sorry, whenever they show all this stuff and they're like presented in true 4K, and I'm like, awesome, as I'm watching it on a YouTube stream on my 1080p monitor. That's right.
It doesn't matter.
This I can't tell anything here. And actually, I did write a thing at the start. They're like, everyone here is getting to watch it on this awesome 4K screen. I'm like, how many people are in the sweet spot where 4K even matters in that room?
Yep.
Like
in the back of the room, they can't. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Or even too close. And it's the thing that
made me laugh. Actually, I was like, sure. Okay.
It's what Sony ran into with the PS4 conference or PS4 Pro conference. Where like, check out all this stuff. It's like, well, I'm watching on my phone or I'm watching on this laptop or I don't have 4K on the screen, so I can't tell what the hell it looks like.
Yep.
And it's so nuanced the way that it looks anyways. Like, even on my 4K screen, I'm like, yeah, it looks different, but not super different.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. The next one was Deep Rock Galactic, which was like dwarves. It looked like Minecraft with some more combat. It just looked, was not up my alley.
No. As the article kind of we're looking at that recaps some of this stuff, it looked like a weird Helldivers thing.
Yeah, right.
Like I actually in my notes I was like Helldivers-esque thing, like
right. I thought it was weirdly placed, like between Assassin's Creed and then PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. It just seemed weird.
Yep. And then we went to the PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds and then State of Decay 2, and I'm like, I don't care.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's good it's good for Xbox to have PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. That was a big thing. But then it went into the State of Decay, and that's when I was cleaning up the office, getting ready for the organizing things for the kid. I'm like, okay, zombies. I'm gonna go work on some stuff right now.
Yep. I'm like, there's a lot of zombie games. I don't know why this one necessarily stands out.
Yeah, it doesn't to me.
But then you get Minecraft stuff.
And this was the first reference to the Nintendo Switch in the entire E3 so far. They didn't mention it in E3 or EA, and then all of a sudden we see a Switch in this.
Yeah, because it's Minecraft. They put it everywhere. But you're going to get a 4K Minecraft on Xbox One, which is oh my god, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, no, they're big blocks. It looked different. It looked nice, but...
I mean, yeah, I've modded it on the PC before to have, like, better, like, shaders.
Like textures or things? Or...
Yeah, the higher res textures on the blocks and like water shaders and things. It's still blocks though.
Right.
This is not the thing that you use to show off of.
That's what the thing like the whole time is like, what are you showing the Scorpio or the Xbox One X off with? State of Decay 2 was the first one. I was like, oh yeah, that was a Xbox exclusive.
Yep. Then we got DBZ Fighter. Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Some people are really excited. I could care less, but that's just me.
Yep.
Darwin Project had that shoutcaster screaming over the gameplay.
Yes.
Which was really distracting.
I actually skipped over that part.
Yeah.
I was like, what is this game? Oh, we have an annoying guy talk. No, fast.
Then you missed the whole thing. It was basically like a competitive.
Oh, God. I just kept on clicking through it because I was just like, yep, still annoying. Still annoying.
It's like a cartoony deathmatch kind of thing, I thought.
Yeah. I got the vibe of it, and I was like, okay.
Then Black Desert.
This could have actually been the thing with the Darwin Project. It could have been good, except for the dude shoutcasting over it. I'm like, that is just taking away from me actually like caring about the game that you're playing.
Right. I couldn't pay attention to it because he was screaming. It was almost like the Men in Blazers in the E3 press conference over FIFA. It was like they were kind of making jokes and stuff too, and it was like, you're so distracting, I can't focus on the game.
Black Desert,
yep,
which is an MMO. It's been on the PC for a bit.
Yeah, it's been
came
on
to
Steam.
Steam recently.
Yeah, it's been on Steam, top of the charts for quite a while, just below Battleground. Battlegrounds.
It's it's an Asian MMO with action combat. So, not something that I'm ever really going to play.
No,
I think I'm
not.
completely MMO'd out.
Yep.
So, thumbs up for an MMO on Xbox.
Yeah, I mean, it looks good, and people are excited. And, it gives some diversity to their games, of course. But I assume that's coming to PS4 as well eventually.
I would assume so. I wouldn't be surprised if it did. And then we got one that I was like, oh, The Last Night. Crazy cyberpunk looking thing.
Right.
Pixel art and everything.
Yep.
And now I am big, giant fucking thumbs down on this game.
Because of the guy?
Yep.
Yeah.
Fuck him and his Gamergate bullshit.
Yep. Yeah,
And I will never purchase this game. I will make sure everyone I know that talks about this game knows that they should never purchase this game.
Why don't you use this platform right now? Let us know why not.
What's that?
Can you elaborate about this guy?
The guy, he's just very... what was the tweets I was reading by him? Feminism is... he's completely against feminism. It's terrible. It's an awful thing. Gamergate is full of integrity. I saw something like that. He's very pro Gamergate and stuff, and that just basically makes me go, like, no.
Yeah, that was the reaction I saw online, too. And then I
actually had to look it up because someone actually posted that on my Twitter feed. Another developer was like, man, The Last Night was the game I was looking forward to the most. And then I read up on the guy behind it.
Yep.
And I was like, I will not buy this.
Right. Yep. Sometimes politics bleeds into, we vote with our wallets. So I think people like what it looked like, but I think the guy has a history that's something that I probably wouldn't.
Nope, I will not support it. And it's right up my alley, that type of game.
Yeah.
Like, I think it looks fine, it looks pretty, but I can't support this guy. And yeah, guess what? That's how it works. If you're going to talk about your politics in public and a public forum like Twitter, some people are not going to be okay with it. And it's completely okay to say, nope, not buying it.
Well, it's the same thing with us. I mean, I'm pretty political on Twitter, and we get into politics every once in a while on this podcast. If you guys don't like it, that's your right. You don't have to listen.
Yeah, I don't. That's fine. No harm.
Yeah,
I don't.
Absolutely.
I'm not going to be upset about it. Like, that's fine.
I thought it was weird when the trailer started. It said directed by or whatever by, and it had his name on it, and it was the only one that did that. And I was like, who the hell is this guy? So I looked it up, and I was like, okay.
Yep.
The next game was Artful Escape, which looked very colorful.
Yeah, it is very colorful.
And there was a guitar in it, which was I really didn't know what the fuck it was, but
nope. I still don't completely know what it is. Like a platformer?
I thought it was like maybe a rhythm game. I was like, is it a rhythm platformer? Like I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It just kind of
it's a musical indie game
playing, and yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, musical indie game is what they're calling it. So there you go. Next one was this Code Vein, which was like a vampire thing. Also didn't really know what that was.
No. I mean, they just went through a bunch of trailers quickly and these trailers were not really doing a good job of selling what the games are.
Yeah, and I feel like they're trying to crib off of Sony's last year was just game, which I appreciated, but there wasn't enough for me to understand what am I looking at.
Yeah. We got to Tacoma,
yep,
which is the next game from the people who did Gone Home.
Right.
And this game has gone through... I've seen a couple developer blogs on the fact that it's gone through some trouble development. Like, they've scrapped a bunch of stuff and not restarted, but redone what they were going to do a couple times. And
yeah, I listened to the guy in a podcast, and he said that he, put it out to a bunch of his developer friends, and they're like, I like your concept, but it's just not fun.
Yeah.
It's like, I had to start over. So.
Yep. So more power to him.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's good. It comes out August 2nd.
Yeah, nice to see games, on all of them. Games that are coming out this year, including the next one, Cuphead, which people were so excited about Cuphead, and then when they put it on the thing today, no one clapped. And then
people are just tired.
They are, absolutely.
Waiting.
And when they showed the release date, it was more like oh, thank God kind of clap. They really just milked this one too much.
Yeah. Didn't they show this on the original like 2 years ago?
I think it's been since 14. Maybe 15.
Yeah, 2 or 3.
Yeah, it's been a long time. People have been talking about it. Now they're just, fatigued.
They're just like, and it is coming September 29th. And God, it better be good. But it's also coming to Steam, too.
Yeah.
So
it's coming.
It's
coming to Steam as well.
Yeah.
Not just the Windows 10 store.
Nope.
Okay.
At the end of the trailer, they had the Steam icon.
Oh, I didn't even catch that.
So, yep.
Next,
Guess where I'll be playing it.
Yeah, exactly. After that, we had a sizzle reel of ideated Xbox games.
Yep.
Your typical sizzle reel. Nothing that stood out to me, to be honest.
Yeah.
What about you? Anything?
No, not at all. It was a lot of stuff done really quickly.
Yeah.
And maybe eventually one of those will be a kind of a breakout. Eventually, you'll see it later with some more times that you can get excited.
Right.
But,
yeah, I'm sure there's a bunch of games on there that are good. It just was, I think they just had a hard time explaining what these games were.
Yeah.
And maybe I'm just dense.
Then they showed Ashen.
Yeah.
Which I have seen Ashen before. A while ago, actually.
I like the look of it. It's almost like a not claymation, but kind of a cell shaded.
Yep.
Doll.
Low poly, kind of dollish.
Yeah.
Like, with more detailed environments. Yeah. It's definitely one that I've had my eye on for a while. It's also one that I don't know, was it exclusive?
Oh, I don't know.
It's at least the Windows 10 store, so we'll see. Yeah, another one that I'm like, if it's good, I'll play it on PC. I don't.
Right.
Life is Strange.
Yep, the new one.
Prequel. Which I don't think is exclusive either.
Well, the thing is, it's not. And so this is a 3-part. The original one was a 5 or 6-part. The thing that's crazy about this game, not crazy, but they kept selling like enhanced by Xbox X, Xbox One X. The first part of this comes out August 31st. Xbox One X doesn't come out till November 7th. Like, you're probably going to get through 2 or even all of the pieces of this prequel before the Xbox One X even comes out.
Yeah. And these aren't the type of games that would really...
No.
Like, I look at the graphics, I mean, they're not going for hyper realistic graphics in these games. So it's not going to really make use of the power.
No, I think that they're saying like it'll be in 4K. Like,
okay.
Like, okay, but none of.
And I guess the 4K thing for some people, like you have a 4K screen. I don't.
Right.
I won't have a 4K screen for probably a long time because just my current how long I go before buying a TV, it's going to be a bit.
Yeah.
So none of that. I'm like, I don't care if it's 4K. And
as you said before, if you're not in the sweet spot, really, it doesn't matter that much.
Yeah.
So it's another case of like these games that are not really taking advantage of this most powerful console in history. The further we got away from that initial announcement, it's like, what would I buy this? Like, they're all on Xbox or Windows 10 or PS4 Pro, and they don't really show off much graphically. A little disappointing. The next one, I'm super interested only because the first game was in VR. This is Super Lucky's Tale, which is a platform.
Yep.
So Lucky's Tale was a VR game for Oculus, maybe?
Oculus.
Yeah. But now they're like, forget the VR. I guess it didn't sell.
We can have a whole talk on how the VR market is still pretty small.
Yeah, it really is.
1 million PSVRs sold.
Yep.
Which is okay, but I think adding Oculus and stuff on top of that, you're probably topping out. I will estimate high at 3 million total.
Yeah.
Like VR headsets in the wild.
Right.
That's not enough for an audience.
No.
Like for most companies. So yeah. So this company decided to make their platformer not VR. I don't know if it's good.
Yeah. I mean, some of these games that were shown on the Xbox showcase, I was thinking to myself, there need to be games for younger gamers as well. So this one came across to me as a pretty young gamer game, which is fine.
It does.
Not for me.
And there needs to be that, and it totally works. But the whole thing, it's such a out of place game for Microsoft's presentation.
It really was. Yep.
Like you can here's the kids game, and it's like your whole presentation has not been anything like that.
Except for that one dwarf Minecraft Helldivers thing that you were talking about.
Yeah, kind of. But then I'm like, man, that has a lot of combat and stuff, and maybe it's a kids thing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I was struck by how many of the games in this conference were like about killing people, like shooting people, or it just was very violent to me. Which a lot of games are violent, of course, but it just struck me.
And then we get to the game that I actually like. Does look really cool. Sea of Thieves.
So tell me what you like about it.
I'm hoping this trailer is actually like really definitive of what gameplay is.
Mm-hmm.
I love the idea of joining up with a crew, sailing the oceans, boarding other ships, the whole thing. Like, I can't tell if if the game will actually be a lot of that, or if it will just be boring sailing around.
Yeah, right.
Which makes me sad, but I want to believe that these action moments would happen more. And it could be a ton of fun.
Yeah, I really
doing
liked
this crazy co-op thing with friends and like trying to find treasure and the whole thing.
Yeah, that emergent gameplay is what it took a while for me to figure out that's what was happening in this game. But when I figured out like hang out with 3 of your friends and just sail around and shit's gonna happen, that seemed pretty fun.
And it can be. And I mean, the only thing I said, this is an E3 trailer, so it's hard to say if this is what the game will actually be like.
Right.
And won't just get boring. We'll find out. But it definitely was the one that I was like, from everything they showed, I'm like, I want to play this. But I think I can play it on PC too.
Yeah, it's Windows 10.
Yeah.
Because it's one of the ones that I was interested in. Every one of them that I was interested in, it was something I could play on Windows 10. So.
Yep. There's the thing. Yep.
I thought the next one looked really good, and I haven't really thought much about it. And it's Crackdown 3.
Oh yeah.
It does not look like anything at all that needs to be run on Xbox One X. It doesn't look like the last. You know when they showed us Crackdown 3 before, it was like using the cloud to destructible buildings and all that stuff. I didn't see that in this trailer. Did I forget what the old one looked like?
I have no clue, honestly. I mean, this looked good. It looks like Crackdown, which Crackdown always had a cel-shaded look to it.
Okay.
Somewhat. Like that's the first two always. That's just kind of their look. Yeah, doesn't need. It will look probably good in 4K. The Scorpio, they probably have a bunch more shaders and particles that they'll throw at it. But is it? Yeah. I mean, watching the trailer, it's Crackdown. It looks as absurd as the other Crackdowns.
Okay.
You're basically superhero blowing the shit out of a city. Stopping crime. Go. And you get Terry Crews now. Which
Terry Crews
is really funny.
Really rad. I really enjoyed that. Do you watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
I do not. I've seen clips of it though.
Jesus
like
Christ.
I do know Terry Crews though.
Yeah.
So.
Right. God, it's so
also
good.
Coming to Windows 10 though.
Yeah, exactly. So that's another one that I thought was interesting, but I don't need to buy an Xbox One X to play it.
Like this is one I'm like, no, this looks really cool. Why are you putting this on Windows 10? Just make this exclusive to your console.
Right.
It's even a first-party game. Just make it exclusive for your console.
Yep. I think it's because Microsoft is wanting to push like.
And Sea of Thieves, the same thing. Do Sea of Thieves and Crackdown as like exclusives. That will probably help you sell some consoles there.
I just think they want to sell software more than hardware. That's just what it seems like, which is fine because someone like me who I traded my Xbox One in 2 months ago. At the end of this conference, I thought, well, I'm glad I did that. I don't really need that because I have my Windows 10 machine. So they're not losing me as a customer for the software, and they don't have to worry about selling me hardware.
Yeah.
It's weird, but I don't know. They're still going to get my money because some of these games look pretty rad.
Yeah, they totally will. And then we got Shadow of War.
The best trailer of the day.
I would say it was a good trailer.
Dude, Bruce is amazing. He's great. Oh my god, he was so just snarky orc talk was amazing. It was so fun. It reminded me of the Destiny thing where like we kept talking about how they were trying to be funny and serious at the same time, and it didn't really work out too well. I thought this one did because the orcs are kind of dumb and they come across that way. So it's just so fun. Did you play the first one?
I did not.
Okay. So I'm pre-ordering this game. I'm so stoked for this game. I can't wait.
What are you gonna play it on?
PS4 Pro.
PS4.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, absolutely.
I didn't know if it was that or PC.
No, PS4 Pro. I just the PC with the 980 Ti, I think it would look better on the PC, but I love sitting on my couch and playing a game.
Yeah.
And then the game that was leaked before the conference, that is Ori and the Will of the Wisp, looks just as good as the last one. So good. And they had the composer out there playing the piano. Did you see this?
I did not. I didn't make it to see this one. I watched the trailer.
Oh, okay. Well, they start off with him playing the piano, and then it's this in the background, and then you slowly start to realize it's Ori. And that game was fantastic. So I'm glad to see it. And one that I can play on Windows 10.
Yeah. I wonder if this will come to Steam as well. The first one came to Steam.
It did. So I imagine it will.
Yeah.
Eventually. I don't know. I don't know what Microsoft is paying for.
And then they ended it with, I think, what everyone wanted to see.
Game of the show. Seriously.
I think so.
Anthem.
I think.
BioWare. I
mean, I have a lot of faith in the BioWare Edmonton studio.
Yeah.
And, I mean, they're trying to... This is an Xbox's thing. This is EA's answer to Destiny in so many ways. And I think they saw, and at least in some ways, was the story in Destiny sucks.
Yeah, so we're gonna do a good story.
Let's get our team that knows how to do really, really good stories and let them work on this.
Even just the story of the trailer alone, I was like, oh my god, this is really well written.
Yeah, this is their A team.
Yeah.
These are their A team writers. They are not screwing around.
They know what they're about, man. It's basically like an Iron Man fantasy. Like, I know it's a Titanfall 2 kind of thing, but it looked more like Iron Man.
Yeah.
Oh, it looks so good, and the writing was so good. Like, this is going to be, a game that you can play with a squad of 4, or you can play by yourself and take Destiny and amp it up.
I'm thinking this is in some ways, what the original Mass Effect trilogy team went on to.
Yeah, I think they said that, right? I thought.
Yeah, and then they probably pulled people in that from Dragon Age Inquisition that had used Frostbite before, because they're using Frostbite again, but I think they're using it in a way that Frostbite's meant to be used.
Right. Yeah.
So
got a lot of people excited.
Yeah, and well, we also know that this is not an Xbox exclusive, though.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to be playing this on PS4 Pro. That's for sure.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, so the most craziest, cool-looking game that you showed, it's not exclusive. You ended your conference with a non-exclusive game.
Yeah, I feel like they're trying to hammer the point, like, you can play if you're going to play these games, you play it best on Xbox One X.
I don't care.
I don't care either. It's not enough.
Just because it plays the best there, if I already own the other console, why am I going to go drop more money to play it? Like, when you say it needs to play better, if the thing is, if it plays, it will play better here, you have to, well, how much better does it actually have to be to make me drop $500?
Right.
And the cost of a game to get the better version. Like, it can't just be marginally better.
Right. And it is. I mean, even the move from a 1080p TV to a 4K TV is marginally better. I mean, it does look better, but it's not, if you're going to spend a ton of money, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
You know?
So that's what shocked me. Anthem looks amazing. It's just more of a, like, seriously, this is how you're closing out your thing? Like, you're not, where's your big first party? You have to own an Xbox One to play this game.
Right. And
they didn't do it. And yes, that was my prediction, and I was hoping I would be wrong, and I wasn't.
You weren't. You nailed 3 of them. And the third, so you got the no new AAA games from Microsoft. You got the Battlegrounds exclusivity, and the third one you got came up in the Bethesda E3 conference. So we just saw that, and basically it was a Nintendo Direct style where they just it was digital almost entirely, except for Pete Hines at the beginning and end.
Yep. Pete Hines comes out and then watch this thing, and then they just went through a very sarcastic, off the wall, as I would expect, kind of Bethesda snark fest showing trailers.
It was so good. It was the best one of the so far. So good.
Yeah. So what do we get? We got some VR stuff at the beginning,
right? Which is coming out this year.
Yep. And I'm also like, God, vomit simulators. Oh God.
Especially Doom.
I'm gonna puke so much in those games.
Especially Doom. No, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. You used a little bit of the VR here. I've used enough of it. I'm just like, I cannot imagine playing either one of those and not feeling nauseous.
Well, and technically Doom is in VFR.
Oh yes.
But then they had the Fallout 4 VR. I mean, I think both of them would make me puke. So I don't have VR anyways. It doesn't matter to me. But people were excited to play Fallout 4 entirely in VR. That's great.
Go for it. Have a strong stomach.
Yeah.
Go.
Seriously. Stomach of iron.
And what did they have? Then they had some Elder Scrolls stuff, online stuff, because Morrowind's coming out, the expansion for that. And then Elder Scrolls Legends, the card game, is coming to mobile in a month, I think they said.
Yeah, and then it's got the Heroes of Skyrim. It's June 29th, actually, into this month.
Yeah. And when I see both of those, I'm like, was this just Bethesda following Blizzard? They're like, Blizzard does an MMO, and then Blizzard does
the card game based
on their Warcraft world, and then Bethesda's like, but wait, we have a fantasy world people like.
I mean, the money's there. Might as well chase it.
Yeah, they're definitely chasing it. I tried Elder Scrolls Online a couple times over the years, and neither time I've tried it really grabbed me.
Yeah.
Those are just single player games, the whole thing. And the card game was fun enough. Legends was fun enough, but it's hard to keep me. It wasn't different. It wasn't amazing enough to be like, I want to play this card game all the time. So they're just kind of there. They got through. I feel like the beginning was the first thing. We're just like, hey, let's just get these done. Because then we got Skyrim Switch. And I was not prepared for this.
I wasn't either. This is the other one that you got right. I'm going to count this for you, where you said third-party support for Switch. Like, this was not just a half-ass attempt at doing something.
No, when they put the the Link amiibo down in front of it.
Yeah.
I was like, what the and then they spawned a chest in Skyrim.
Yep.
No way.
Yeah,
No
I was saying the
fucking
same thing. I was like, what the hell? My wife's like, what's going on? I was like, look, never mind. This is cool. This is cool. Like, it spawns a chest, you open up, and then you dress up like Link. I don't know if you were Link or you just dressed up like Link.
No, you got clothes.
Yeah.
You got the Breath of the Wild blue outfit.
And the Master Sword.
Master Sword and the Hylian shield.
Right. Fucking awesome.
You got to you can run around Skyrim as dressed as Link.
The motion control is less awesome. I'm not super excited about that, but
yeah, hopefully you can just ignore those.
Oh, you absolutely can. It's just they're just like, we're doing something.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I bet Nintendo just requires it if you want to be featured and be put up front.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah, the amiibo thing that actually got me to take notice.
Yep. Like what?
Just a holy shit moment of like, oh my god, we're doing this.
Yeah. Well, I loved at the beginning of the conference he said we're talking about the games we're bringing to consoles like Sony and Microsoft and Nintendo. It's like, oh yes, we're gonna get the Switch.
Yeah.
Next one. So I thought the next one was interesting. It was Dishonored DLC. It's Death of the Outsider. It's not Corvo. It's not the female character. I can't remember her name.
Emily,
there you go. From Dishonored 2. And the DLC is not called Dishonored 2, Death of the Outsider. It's just Dishonored.
No. It's another story, it seems like.
Yeah, totally different story. I just thought that they would tie it to Dishonored 2.
Yeah. But no, I think they're just pushing it as Dishonored franchise now.
Is it?
Stories and that.
Is it, like the Lost Legacy is going to be DLC, but you don't have to have the original game for it.
I've actually wondered that. Because I thought this was
same?
DLC. It could totally be.
Yeah.
The precedent is there, set by a couple other games in the past, and Lost Legacy with Uncharted. So they totally could. It could be this like $30 shorter version of Dishonored.
I thought it looked really good.
Story. Yeah, I'm up for it.
Yeah.
Dishonored 2 is definitely a game that I'm waiting around on for a good sale. I want to play it.
Yeah.
I just enjoy the world a lot. I think Arcane has done a fantastic job of creating a unique gameplay world and some fun mechanics to exploit it. So
I wonder if I played the first one for a couple hours and I really couldn't get into it, but people who rave about 2 I've said consistently, like if you didn't like 1, you probably will still like 2. It's different enough and it improves in the right ways. So I'm mildly interested and if this is standalone DLC. If this is standalone DLC, I'll probably try it out.
Yeah.
Because it looked good. I love the protagonist. It sold me.
Yeah.
Which I was surprised. Like if you'd have told me this morning you're gonna get sold on a Dishonored DLC, I would have said, shut the fuck up. No way.
Yeah, pretty much. I will say consistently the trailers for Bethesda stuff were actually really good.
They were so good. They explained what the thing was.
They were catchy as well. So we got next one, Quake Champions. Sure, it's Quake. They're gonna push esports with it.
It made me realize how much fun I had with Quake back in the day. I forgot. I haven't played the game forever.
I am going to be so bad if I tried playing it now.
Of course.
Such a Twitch FPS.
Nope, that ain't happening.
But I do appreciate that they're trying to bring it back and get it there. But then we got 2 trailers at the end here.
Oh my god, these 2 trailers made the whole conference for me.
And I Evil Within 2 with the Duran Duran song over top of it. God, that was good.
It was so good. That trailer was like the best trailer I've seen in a long.
I'm never gonna probably play the game because I'll freaked out way too much. But God, the imagery. There's so much cool stuff in that trailer. Like they nailed the style, and
really
definitely like for me as a person who doesn't like horror games, I can't feel like I can play horror games well.
Yeah,
I'm at least intrigued by it. I'm like, man, I really like the look of that, and I would be totally interested in maybe checking it out a little bit.
Man, once I started playing horror games with somebody, like my friend Ted and I, like we did the PT and we just finished Resident Evil 7, it makes it much more manageable because you can kind of joke about things and relieves the tension because you're both, you know.
You can cut the tension a bit.
Absolutely. So if you could do that, like this might be a good one to try, or Resident Evil 7. But this, I'm gonna grab Ted. We're gonna play this game because this game looks so rad, so good.
Yeah.
And maybe I'll try the first one.
The first one must have done well enough that they wanted to do a sequel.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I'm sure it was not low budget, but you know, it returned on investment. The ROI was.
Yeah. And then they ended with Wolfenstein 2.
Oh my god.
And the most crazy ass looking game that I've seen so far.
What a crazy story. The story looks
God, the
rad.
opening trailer was like, what the?
I know, the little
live
girl
action
with her dog robot thing.
Dog thing that was saved the day, but then destroyed the truck, and like,
It's like, where's this going?
The weird animal flipping through switches, and then the Donka Shane
Yep.
playing through it. Like, what the hell was this?
It was such an interesting way to set the tone. Where like, this is in America where Germany, like the Nazis rule. It's like that one of the commercials or the game show was like on the TV was speak German or get the fuck out or whatever it was. Oh man, it set the tone so well, and it's just like, this is a game like when Pete Hines came back out and said this is a game about the American resistance fighting against the Nazis. He said that not just because that's what the game is about. Like, I feel like there's a contemporaneous like connection he's making here. That's not hard to see.
No, and I think that's I have a feeling anyone that's writing a game like this is definitely putting a little bit of that in.
Oh yeah, they definitely had that in mind based on the trailer.
Yeah. Oh man, the lizard. That was the best part.
Paint a picture for our audience. What did you?
What was the end? What was the thing? It was a pregnant lady stabbing a Nazi in the groin.
Yep. And
the other dude drops acid.
Yep.
And is walking up and sees a cartoon lizard appear and starts talking to a cartoon lizard.
I own Wolfenstein, the first Wolfenstein, the New Order or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I couldn't really get into it. The story didn't really drag me in. This, I'm on day one. This was crazy in a really good way, and the writing was really cool.
Yeah, again, on point writing, memorable characters. I'm like,
absolutely.
It definitely. I'm like, okay, it's not taking itself too seriously here.
No.
It's gonna be poking some fun at things and just kind of being strange at times, or as Hines said, fucking bananas.
Yeah, super, just insane. And I can tell why they wanted to do a 9 p.m. press conference, or not press conference, but a showcase, because there was some batshit crazy stuff and some violence.
Oh yeah, they definitely were like, yep, these are the type of games we make. We do not make kid games.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
That's not what we do.
Right.
So there.
So from the first half of E3, if you were to throw out like your top 3 games.
Oh god, what did I see that I really enjoyed? Anthem is definitely probably number 1.
Mm-hmm.
And we're just talking about it. I don't know. Well, I don't know if it's something I'm gonna like to play or not, but for trailer wise, yeah, Wolfenstein 2.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it just looks funny, and I'm a sucker for good writing.
Yeah.
No matter what, really, and good characters. 3 would come down to either Sea of Thieves. I still want that game to be so good. That or Battlefront 2.
Mm-hmm.
Really, like, it's a pretty big drop to third spot there.
Yeah. For me, it's definitely Anthem, and I think maybe Evil Within 2.
Yeah.
And I'm probably going to throw Ori and the Will of the Wisps for number 3. Although there are a couple of, like, Shadow of War is up there, and so is Wolfenstein. But those 3 I'm really excited about.
Yeah.
So, wow.
It's been some fun stuff. And really, I feel like we've said it so far, Bethesda was probably the best presentation out of all of this. Like, they just showed stuff and it was like, cool, we're going to be humorous and we're going to show you some stuff and not try to, like, put on these fake staged things.
Which tells me that Nintendo had it right. Like, let's get rid of the stage, let's eschew the stage part, and let's, like, just game.
Yep.
And I know Nintendo on Tuesday is 25 minutes, but I think they can pack it. This was, Bethesda was 40 minutes, and that was with some bookends, so, bring it down to 35. Oh.
Yeah, no, it was just over half an hour.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we're good there. So yeah, I'm looking forward to tomorrow. What's the order? Tomorrow, is it PC first?
Ubisoft, and then Sony.
Okay.
So we got 3, and then I've got a class tomorrow night, actually. So we'll probably record late again, if that's okay with you.
That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not a problem.
Do you want to run quickly through what we've been playing this week?
Yeah, I've really only been playing one thing.
You've been
I'm
playing
still
Dick
not done.
Simulator?
Exactly. I sent you the picture. The second dick demon I fought.
Dude, you sent me a dick pic.
I did send you a dick pic that has a dick that has like a mouth opening, and oh god, it's weird.
It was really weird.
Thank you, Persona.
I can never get that in my head now.
What's the saddest thing is the fact that it's the second dick demon I fought in the entire game.
So you're still how many hours are you into this game now?
96 hours.
Shit.
97.
Okay, so you're about 15.
I'm in the last dungeon.
Oh, right you are. Okay.
Yep. and once I beat this, the game's over. Like it wraps.
Right.
They make that very clear that the game's over.
So you're still digging it.
I am. I really want to finish it. I won't do it tonight. I'm gonna go to sleep.
Yeah.
But I'm saved. I think I have probably another 2 hours of the game, and then I'm done, and I'll finish it up. I can see where some people have said they thought it goes on longer. Like I did the last time we talked earlier. Like I thought I was coming to the end of the game.
Yeah.
And then I did that dungeon, and there was more. Mm-hmm. But now that I'm in this final one, it makes sense why. Like, you're like, oh, it's still going. Oh, now I see why it's still going. There's basically one other theme that needs to be finished out. So, and it's worth it, I think. I think it's going to be worth it in the end. So, I don't want to spoil anything for
of course.
For it. It's just really... Because, I mean, this is the in-game stuff, so we're dealing with some of the bigger picture.
So the Dick Demon's not a spoiler?
No, the Dick Demon. You fight a Dick Demon within the first, 3 hours, 4 hours of the game, too. So, I mean, the game is bookended with Dick Demons.
Oh, my... This is a game I got to play. Oh, my God. It's so weird. Are you jumping into New Game Plus when you're done, or are you going to move on to something else?
We'll see. Yeah. I might briefly jump. I just want to see what carries over more than anything.
Right.
Because I'm not going to platinum it on this playthrough. And I think the things that I need to do to platinum it would require one additional complete playthrough.
Right. So another
which I don't know if I have that. I don't know if I have that in me.
Yeah. No, I understand. So then you're going to be done with that and moving on to something else this week.
Yep.
For me this week, I played a bunch. I started with Overwatch. I did the the anniversary update gameplay. And I'm probably never going to touch Overwatch again because I had the matches of my life. We were doing, it was Capture the Flag or something like that. I can't remember which one it was, but it was just back and forth, and just down to the last second. And everyone was participating, and I got 10 shots and 10 kills in a row that were just spectacular. It just was someone else had taken over my body, some pro Overwatch player, and I was just kicking ass. And I haven't played the game in a month, and I was just where is this coming from? And then I went and played one of the new modes, or maybe, I don't know if it's new or not, but to get some of the loot boxes, it was 1-on-1. So it was me and another guy, and it as you're playing 1-on-1, the game selects 3 characters randomly, and then you can only select from one of those 3 characters. So you're basically forced to play a bunch of different characters, and the first to 5 wins. And I won the first round, he won the second round. The next round we killed each other in the exact same instant, so we drew, and then we drew again, and then I won, and then he won, and then we had a draw again, and another draw to get to 5. We had 4 draws in a row where we both had 4 wins. And then at the last second, I was Pharah, he was Pharah. I jumped into the air. He I don't know what he moved to the side somehow, and we were just shooting rockets at each other. And I just threw a rocket 3 feet in front of where he was gonna go, and where I thought he was gonna go, and he went right in that spot. And just I hit him. He died. I won. I opened my loot box and I logged off. I'm I can never top how intense these 2 games were. It was so fun.
That's great.
So fun. It was, they know what they're doing.
Yeah,
for sure. And just having these updates to get people back in. I don't know if I would have played it again because I'm playing other things, but I wanted to check it out before it ended, and it was just so much fun. It was crazy how good it was.
Yeah.
Another game that I played, small Injustice 2, continuing to play that. Not much to say other than that it's just a solid, fun game. The new character came out, Red Hood. I'm probably not getting the DLC for a while, although I might do the spend $100, get $15 back thing and get that along with some other things. Playing Thumper on the Switch, which is basically, they call it a rhythm violence game. It's a rhythm game, but it's industrial music, has boss fights. It's pretty intense, and it's pretty fun on the Switch. Played a little bit of Dead Cells, probably about an hour into it. I'll save that for our gameplay game club, but so far so good. The game that I put the most time into this week, my friend Ted came over on Thursday, and we did our second sitting of Resident Evil 7. We did 3 hours in the first sitting, and then we did 7 hours in the second sitting.
Holy crap.
Yep.
How late were you up?
12:30. We started playing at 5:30. So
okay.
We just went straight through. We had some dinner. My wife was hanging out for a little bit, and it's just so fun with someone because they're jump scares and creepy shit. And if you get frustrated and can't beat this thing, how we play it when we do these things, when we get to a save spot or when we die, we switch the controller. So we pass it to the next person. So there were times where like just really crazy intense stuff was going on. And we'd purposely go to a save spot and say, well, it's your turn. And it's just, I've never played a Resident Evil. I don't like horror games. This, like, just the intensity, like the terror, it really was exhilarating in a way that other games aren't. I understand why people play horror games, watch horror films, and are so much better with people because you're grounded in reality. Like, you can't let your mind go to like, well, maybe that stuff's happening here or whatever, because you're sitting next to your friend eating pizza. Like, it's not happening. And the story was interesting. The way that it wrapped around at the end to something other than what I thought it was cool. I super recommend this game for people who are into horror. Like, if you've slept on this game, you should get it. It's good. I'm really glad that I played it. I'm super into playing horror games now, which is really, really weird. I'll never play them alone, but playing it with someone is the way to go, I think.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I don't think I'll have someone to play it with, but maybe one day. One day.
Well, I hope that we can. I don't know. I hope that you can have that experience, because it is something that I would never would have done. And he felt the same way. But with PT, for example, it was a short experience. So we're like, let's try it out. It's so fun together.
I'll do it with my son. We'll see how that goes.
Oh, please don't do that.
This is good. That's good parenting, right?
That's a terrible fucking idea. I don't have a kid yet, but I can tell you that's a damn.
Oh, it'd be bad. I'm
bad
sure
idea.
that would be a horrible.
Please don't call CPS on him, listener.
No, never.
So we are going to be back with you guys tomorrow night, talking about the PC and Ubisoft and Sony's press conferences, and then again on Tuesday with Nintendo, and then an E3 wrap. Anthony, thanks for your time tonight.
Thank you. I'm super pumped for what Sony's going to do.
Oh my God, I can't wait. The games they have,
and the games they have probably haven't announced.
Yeah, right.
That are coming.
Right.
Like, that's the thing I know about it, is they're going to announce console exclusive stuff.
Exactly. Unlike Microsoft, they're going to have console exclusive games we don't even know about yet.
Yep.
And you and I both said, just to recap, that there's going to be Bloodborne 2 ones. We're probably not going to be disappointed.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I've seen the Bloodborne 3 stuff going around.
Bloodborne
jokey
3?
It's jokey memes.
Oh, okay.
They're like a joke, like Bloodborne 3 on the Switch or something like that. Like that. It's just funny little images, memes going around.
I saw the Bloodborne cart, which I thought was
there's
hilarious.
Bloodborne cart as well.
And then I thought that'd be kind of fun, actually. Like these demons, like in this really kind of cartoony, cute world. That's nice mashup.
There we go.
All right.
Well, I'll talk to you tomorrow night.
Yes, after my breastfeeding class.
Games.
Yeah, we'll talk about more games tomorrow night. All right, folks, thanks for listening.
I can already tell you, no matter how hard you try to breastfeed, it's probably not going to happen.
Well, I'm going to keep trying. That
you
kid,
should.
That kid
you
is
should
just
try.
gonna really latch on, and we're gonna get some milk out of him.
And we'll end it with that.
Yes, absolutely. We'll see you tomorrow night, folks.
All right. Bye.
Bye.